Yes, perfect. Thank you, Elisa, Florian. Thank you so much for joining us today in this Career Services webinar for prospective students, for all those candidates. Maybe you are in different situations. Some of them are already accepted. Some of you probably are still thinking about coming to Barcelona next year in September to study with us. So we are very happy to be sharing with you the next hour. I will be presenting. I'm Bea Hernandez. I'm the head of career services and alumni at the Barcelona School of Economics. And here with us, we have as well my colleague Alba Salas, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hello, good afternoon to everyone. I'm Alba Salas. I'm career consultant, and nice to meet you all. We hope to explain you all the service very well and solve all the questions you may have.
So thank you, Alba. Hello. Here in Barcelona, it's 4:00. Maybe some of you are all around the world, so probably morning, evening, we don't know, but happy to be sharing with you the next hour. And as you can see, this is the agenda for today. We are going to talk about placement facts from the previous cohorts. We are going to talk about BSc top recruiters. Also, some examples of recent graduates' placements. You will see some names of organizations that are annually recruiting our students, our graduates. We will walk through our career services in terms of these three topics: recruitment, guidance, and training. And in the end, we will talk about the alumni community and the services that you will have after the masters. You will have lifelong services, and we will explain a few details on that. And at the end of the session, please feel free to ask anything you want related with career services, career development. My colleague Alba and myself will be happy to be answering all your questions. So let's start with the placement facts of the previous cohort. Actually, the placement rate for the class of 2023 is 95%. This means that from all of those graduates or students that were looking for an opportunity, both professional or academic, 95% of them, within the 6 months after the graduation, could find an opportunity, were hired or were continuing studying in another institution. So that's a great news, because that means we have very, very successful placement rates. Also, it's the same for the class of 2022. It's a 95%. We will be sharing with you in these slides the three cohorts, which are the following from the years 2021 and 22, because we have just recently this month closed the employment report or the placement report of the class of 2023. That's why we will be sharing these 3 years, but soon, if any of you want to know a bit more about the class of 2023, we will be able in a few weeks to share with you all the details. We are currently in the team of career services gathering all the data and putting it in a way that is going to be understandable for you and for having the report on. So this is the distribution. We always try to understand a little bit how is our placement distributed, and this is, as you can see, 77% of our graduates are placed in the professional path. That means they are hired full-time or through an internship in an institution or organization. And 23% get an academic placement. That means that they continue studying both a PhD or another master's. Also, if we check the distribution in terms of sectors, here we can see that this is very similar year after year. But here we talk about a 27% of our graduates are placed in the financial services industry, which means mainly banking, investment banking, asset management, all related with financial services. Then we have a 24% that are placed in the consulting firm sector. Here we are talking about mainly economics consulting firms, but also management consulting, financial consulting firms, etc. Then we have a 17% of our graduates that are placed in the research and academic institutions. Here you will see a few examples of this, what kind of institutions we are talking about, but it's a relevant number year after year. And then we have government and authorities with 11%, and here we are including central banks. This is very important. Also competition authorities, etc. So all related with public sector. And then 9% technology, which is very common for our data science students. They both decision-making and methodology programs are one of the main sectors, where they are placed is technology sector. And then with a 6%, we have both international organizations and non-profit and other industries, which here we can talk about pharmaceutical, automotive, any kind of industry that you can imagine, it's included here. If we go through the locations, this is the distribution of our placements. The majority of our graduates are placed in Europe with a 47%. We are not talking here, we're not including Spain. And then a 34% are placed in Spain. Then we see that North America has 7% of placements, and then it's very mixed. South America 5%, 2% Africa, 4% Asia, and 1% Oceania. This will depend a lot on the preference of the students, the nationality of the students sometimes, and also where are located those organizations that which our graduates are interested in. So here it's very common that Europe is the majority of placements are there, but it can vary a bit depending on the cohort. And we would like to talk a little bit about top recruiters for you to have an idea of which organizations are commonly recruiting our graduates. These are partners of career services. They are year after year coming to the campus or presenting online sessions to, first of all, present their organizations, but also to meet our students, to meet BSc students. And then from here, there are lots of opportunities coming from these sessions. And this is a representation of organizations from different sectors that we are going to show to you that are partnering with us in terms of recruitment. So in the financial services industry, you see, here we have a few names of investment banks, commercial banks, international. Most of them, we work internationally with many organizations, as you can see. Then the government and authorities sector, as you can see, as I was saying before, central banks, Bank of England, Banco de España, European Central Bank, and also other authority organizations or competition authorities like CMA, for example, or the European Systemic Risk Board. Consulting services sector, here you can see as well a representation of those consulting firms that recruit BSc graduates. As you see, economics consulting like NERA Economic Consulting, RBB, Compass Lexicon, to say a few names, and then the management consulting firms as Deloitte or PricewaterhouseCoopers, Ernst & Young, etc., etc. Here there's many names that are recruiting BSc students, and also the research and academic institutions. Here you can see a representation, right? It's very common UPF in terms of our PhDs. Many of them stay here. ESA, UAB, and then also Laterite, ODI, IPA, etc., etc. You will see that there are many institutions that are interested in the BSc profile. And also international organizations and non-profit, as you see, this is one of the main recruiters. It's one of the sectors that are mostly recruiting our graduates. As you can see, the World Bank, they are here. Every year they come to the campus online or in person to present their organization, the OECD, Inter-American Development Bank, etc., etc. And if we talk about technology companies, here we see there are many organizations in terms of internet business, electronic business, digital, etc. As you see, Typeform, Globo, Google, Social Point. There are many, many names that are also interested mainly in the data science profiles. And other industries, as we were saying, it's all about those industries that are not categorized in the mentioned sectors or industries, but also are recruiting our students. Here we see PepsiCo, Vueling, eDreams, Novartis, Telefonica, to say a few names. And we would like to talk about, for you to have an idea of which are those positions that our graduates are placed after the masters. And we wanted to share with you a few names. For example, right? Here are position, institution, and location. As you can see, it's very, very diverse in terms of location. We see US, we see Europe, and then we see different positions as analyst at Frontier Economics, for example, in London, consultant in the Inter-American Development Bank in Washington, D.C., macro research intern in Goldman Sachs in London. So majority of our placements are full-time jobs, but some of them are for those students that have less experience. Normally, it's they enter the market through an internship, right? But this also is something that we will talk about with you once you are here with us at BSc in a one-on-one basis in terms of which are those positions that can fit better your profile. And here as well, some other names, research assistant, senior consultant, trainee at the OECD, etc., etc. Just for you to have an idea of what type of positions you can be placed after the masters. In terms of data science, it's a bit different in terms of maybe in the names of the positions, data scientist, cloud technical resident, data engineer, but also the organizations that recruit data science, apart from technology, are very similar as the others, masters, in terms of international organizations, sometimes government authorities. These sectors also need data scientists. It's a profile which is very transversal. It's needed in all type of industries. So here for you to have an idea of what type of positions you can find as data scientist. And we wanted to show a bit also about the distribution of the placements in terms of non-EU students, because this is a question that we receive many times. So just for you to know, 67% of non-EU students were placed in Europe in both professional and academic paths, let's say, and 28% were in Europe and 39% were in Spain. If we separate professional placement from the academic, we see that those students or graduates that were looking for opportunities in the professional market, 42% were placed in Europe, so they could succeed in this, in the sense of finding a sponsorship, etc., etc. We will talk about this in more detail once you're here. Which options do you have? Visas, sponsorships, etc. But as you can see, this is something which is common and it happens quite a lot. And then in the academic placement, we see that 25% are placed in Europe, 4% in Europe and 21% in Spain. And this happens because, as I was saying before, many PhDs are staying here in Spain, specifically UPF, but other universities, right? So we would like to talk in more detail about the career services. This was a first picture of all the organization type of industries that we work with, and that you will find when you are here in the campus. And now we're going to talk about what are those services that you will find and you will be having access to when you are a student from September 24. We divide our career department in 3 pillars, which are recruitment, guidance, and training. And we will be walking through 3 of them. So, first of all, the recruitment and networking. Here this is a very important part of our let's say work at Career Services, because we ensure that during the whole academic year you will have many opportunities to talk and to network with recruiters from many sectors, as you have seen before, through different activities and events, right? Here you can see that we will be organizing recruitment talks, the annual career days. This year we celebrated 3 career days, one specifically here on campus with about 20 companies presenting here on campus to the students through different activities. Then we organized an online career day for those organizations that couldn't travel to Barcelona but wanted to meet with students. And we also organized a data science career day specifically for those profiles of data scientists to understand a little bit the landscape for the market for this profile, right? So as you see, and this was an event which was organized here as well in person on campus. So these are great opportunities for you to understand what are the organizations looking for in terms of skills, in terms of knowledge, and also to network and to start creating a network that will be opening doors in the future. So we highly recommend to attend all of these opportunities and activities. We also conduct and organize one-on-one meetings with organizations and recruiters here on campus. So not long ago, actually last week, we had OECD representative having one-on-one meetings with students here on campus. Just for you to have an idea, this happened as well with the World Bank and other institutions that come to campus, come to the BSc campus to meet the students in a one-on-one basis or in a session, in a group session. Also, you will have the opportunity to have direct contact with the BSc network and the community. That means that we try to connect the BSc community, the alumni network, with students. We have several activities through the year and several tools where you can talk with alumni, understand how their career path was, and have these insights directly from them, which we know is very helpful. And specifically, we will be presenting you a mentoring program for you to be selecting that mentor, alumni mentor, that is offering his or her time to help students to find the right place in the job market, to plan a little bit the strategy for landing a job, etc. No? These, among other initiatives like alumni talks and panels that we are organizing during the year, etc., etc. And also, you will have access to the BSc Career Portal. Here we have all of the job opportunities and internship opportunities that the organizations share with us. They are looking for BSc students and graduates, and that's why we have this portal to connect you with the opportunities that these organizations are sharing with you. And we are sending a weekly summary of the new job offers that are being posted in this job portal. If you have questions at the end of the session in the Q&A, we will be going through and reading all of the questions. I prefer to go through all of the topics, and then we will have time for sure to be talking with you. Also, in the guidance pillar, in this topic here, it's also very important because we really want to know you. We really are interested in understanding each of the students' interests, values, plans for their career, preferences. And that's why we have one-on-one meetings through the year. We have our agendas ready for you to schedule one-on-one meetings in all of these topics: CV reviews, cover letter review, one-on-one career advice sessions, and mock interviews. In these sessions with your career consultant, we have Alba with us. She is taking care of some of the masters, but we have another consultant that is also taking care and giving advice to other masters. So we divide the masters a little bit with our career consultants, and then we try to understand, no, all of your goals, your preferences, and your, let's say, we try to work with you a plan, a strategy for your career, the next steps after the masters. And this is why it's very important for us to meet you, and we need you to know to talk to us and to schedule meetings with us, because this is very helpful, and this is what our students and graduates said so far, that it's very helpful to have this personalized advice. And in the training pillar here, it's all about sessions that we will be conducting, and we design workshops for you to learn a bit more about all of these topics that you can see here. We will talk about market opportunities, how to do effective networking, communication skills, professional branding, interviews, etc., etc. So there are many topics, and we every year create more and more topics, listening also to the feedback of students of what are their interests in career development. So we continuously increase the list of workshops that we offer. And it's a great opportunity to understand a bit better, how you can better prepare for the job market in this case. And these are insights that you will carry with you during all your professional career. So we also highly recommend to attend to these sessions that also will be embedded in your academic calendar. All of these things that we are explaining in this training session are embedded, so we will never clash with your academic classes. And also we carry coffee with career sessions, which is a more informal, let's say, format to talk with you in groups, etc., etc. So at least once per term, we will have this coffee with you for all of you who want to talk with us in a more informal way. You will see that there are plenty of opportunities to network. And last but not least, the BSc alumni community. We would like to talk about all of the services that you will be having access to. For example, when you graduate, you will be part of the big alumni community. Nowadays, we are more than 4,000 alumni all around the world, and they receive career services. All of the services that we're explaining for students are also applying for alumni, which means that you will keep receiving career advice, one-on-one sessions. There will be workshops for you as alumni, more focused in senior profiles or mid-level career profiles, and we will make sure that you have a successful career, and we will be supporting you through all your career path. Also, a mentoring program is available for alumni, not only for students, so you can be both a mentor or mentee in this case. You will have access to a benefits and discounts program. Here we have few publications like The Economist, where you will find, for example, nowadays 20% discount in this publication, and different tools, etc. You will be receiving all of the information when you're a student. And also there are many regional chapters all around the world with BSc ambassadors that are taking care of the community in several regions. We have chapters in Europe, in US, in Latin America. And here we celebrate meetups, we connect alumni or recent graduates, and there's many things happening all over the world regarding the community. And also, obviously, you will have access to BSc lectures, research events, and many activities that we will be carrying on for the community, social events as well. Here in Barcelona, we celebrate many social events with professors, faculty, staff, students, alumni. So you will see that there's a lot of social life going on as well. And the alumni platform. This is a platform where will have access since the very beginning of your master programs, where you will be able to connect already with alumni, through the alumni directory. You will be able to send direct message to them. There's a platform where we show all of the events that we celebrate within the community, etc., etc. So you will have more information. I wouldn't like to give you many, so much information that you probably in September will be having again and again. So this, for now, I think it's like an idea of what you can find once you are a student here at the Barcelona School of Economics. Hopefully, we will see you all here next September. And now it's time for questions. We'd like to hear your suggestion, questions, comments, to discuss anything you'd like. So if you want to write down through this chat any questions regarding what we have been talking about or any other topic, we'll be happy to respond it.
We were already answering some of the questions, but I see we still have one from Maria from Lebanon. She was asking about if there is a WhatsApp group for the incoming students.
I think
yeah, maybe Sandra knows about it. Okay, I see she's answering now in the chat. Okay. Well, Maria, you can get in touch with Sandra and she will let you know more about it. Okay, what else? Then another question from Maria. Is it a struggle for people coming from the Middle East to find jobs in Europe? Yeah. Well, about this topic, that Bea was sharing some data before. Yeah, we've seen more or less what's the percentage of students, that end up staying in Europe in general. I don't recall right now the number, but of course, yeah, it can be a bit more challenging, because you are going to need a company to be open, to be able to do the job visa sponsorship. So in these cases, we always recommend you to start earlier, the search of opportunities, because you may need to spend more time, more effort, in the whole process to prove to the companies, that you are really the candidate they need to have. So yeah, in a way it can be a bit more difficult, but it's not impossible. At the end, we see every year that non-European students manage to stay, in Spain or in other countries around Europe.
It will depend as well. Thank you, Alba, on your profile, on what you're looking for. There are some sectors that are more willing to do the sponsorship than others. Probably consulting firms are very keen on preparing your. Alba, can you mute, please?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No worries. So it depends. We will talk about this in a one-on-one basis with you in any case. So it will depend on the profile that you have, what you're looking for, and the type of sector you're looking for opportunities. But it's as Alba was saying, it's an option for sure, as we have seen the numbers. How's the mentoring program? Elisa is asking, how's the mentoring program organized? How can we access it? Is it only related to career progression or also mentor support during the courses? Thank you, Elisa, for your question about the mentoring program. Normally, the mentoring program is launched in January. It lasts for 6 months. And what we try to do is, why in January? Because you have already started the program masters, you have already an idea through the career days and all the presentations that we have done about what's the market and job market landscape, and maybe you have an idea of what you want to do next. And then once you have this clear idea, a little bit, or at least something in your mind, it's when we open this mentorship program where you can select a mentor in that type of sector that you would like to be working in, for example, right? So we will be giving you information about it. Normally it's open for students and alumni. For this year, we have around 80, close to 90 mentors, alumni mentors, willing to support students and recent graduates. So no worries, Elisa, because we will give you all of the information. You will be able to connect with mentors. depending on your goals. Andre does BC have a language school to study Spanish while studying the masters? UPF has a language school. I think Sandra will have more information about this. Sandra is already replying this. How important is the Spanish language when considering work opportunities in Spain? It is crucial to be able to speak Spanish. Thank you, Valeria. This is a very interesting question. Again, as we were saying with the sponsorship of visas, it depends on the sector or industry. We see, for example, technology sector, it's a bit more, there's not, this requirement, it's not that strong, even though you can find some exceptions. For example, consulting firms, depending, management consulting firms are requiring Spanish, but some economic consulting firms not. Financial services here in Spain, most of them are requiring Spanish. But again, depends a lot on the type of industry, type of organizations. Young organizations or startups are very open to have international students with only English or another language, which is not Spanish. So again, Valeria, if you want, depending on your goal, we can advise you better on this in this topic. More questions. How to know if I am technically well equipped in terms of math and coding for a master's in data science? Rotislav, this is a good question. Actually, we had not long ago an alumni panel, and they were actually giving advice on this. It's very important that you have at least basics. But Sandra, for sure, will be able to help you in this topic better than me because she is in contact very much with the requirements of the master. So probably Sandra can send you an email on this, can call you and have a discussion on which are the minimum requirements on technical requirements for participating in this master. Deepak, do recruiters also sponsor visas, and is it a hindrance for people of other nationalities to get jobs within Europe? To this question, is the same as we were saying before. It's a bit more difficult because you have to be sponsored. It's not that you apply for a job in Europe and you get hired straight away. No, you need that organization to see your profile very attractive for their needs, specifically in that moment. They have to have this internal policy of HR that they sponsor visas. So it will depend, Deepak. As we have seen in the slide of the non-EU students or graduates, there's a lot of them that stay in Spain. But it depends. It depends on the industry, etc., that you are targeting. Also, with 2 years of work experience as a data analyst, would I be eligible for an entry-level position, or would I be considered for a role that matched my previous experience in the industry? Deepak, it depends here as well. Maybe this is something that we can speak about in a one-on-one basis. Depends. We will have to check your CV, your previous experience, the masters. What we have seen opens a lot of doors for data scientists. So maybe you can jump a little bit for a more senior role if you have already experience in the field. But again, I wouldn't like to talk with not knowing a little bit more of details on your profile, your previous experience. So if you want, Deepak, we can talk about this on a one-on-one basis whenever you want. And what else? Yeah, I think I'm going to go up and see if I forgot. I don't know, Alba, if you see other questions that I didn't read.
Let me see. I think we cover everything.
There's Rotislav also asked, about combine a PhD at Pompeu.
Oh, yes.
No, maybe at Pompeu Fabra with a work in tech industry after completing masters in data science. Completing a PhD plus working, it's always tricky. Obviously, it's possible, but it's something that you can talk with the employer if you are hired, if you could combine both things. As you know, PhD is very, very time consuming and energy consuming. So it depends on how fast you want to complete your PhD, how many years you want to have it completed, and if the requirements of your employer, your organization, allows you to combine both things. Again, this depends completely on the where you're working, in which field, and many other things. But if the question if it's possible, yes, it is, because we have had cases, but more complicated for sure.
I see we have one question also from Tan from Thailand, who is asking if they can work internships while doing the masters. Okay, yeah, related to that, we don't encourage you, neither recommend you to do that, because the workload of the masters is super high. You're going to need a lot of hours to do all the studying, attending the classes, preparing to deliver all the problem sets. So no, during the year, we don't recommend you to do that. And our students, start doing internships once they graduated. So from mid-July onwards, there will be no problem. That's an option. Actually, you have to sign an internship agreement with a company to be able to get professional experience here in Europe or wherever you want, but not during the masters. Yeah.
As you will see, it's a full-time program, so it's very difficult to combine a job or an internship plus the program. This is something that even if you want to try it, you will see that it's quite complicated, because the requirements of the master is so high that you will need to be focused in the academic part. But that's why we will be here from Career Services, assessing you and also supporting you in the plan. So when you finish your degree, your master's, you are very prepared, or maybe you have an offer already to land the job market, right? Just for you to know, some of our students about January and February start to have offers, job offers. So as you can imagine, starting the master's in September and having a job offer in January to start in September or maybe summer, this gives you an idea of how many opportunities that you can have if you start very early looking for them, and you have a clear plan or goal of what you want, right? So that is why we will be there since the very, very beginning of the program to help you to define your career goals, and probably, who knows, to get offers before finishing the program. Okay, Zara, I already have an offer, but the deadline for accepting the offer is before the webinar. Can it not be extended? I'm sorry, Zara, I think you are talking about admissions. I think Sandra is replying all of the questions related with the admissions process. She's the expert. We will be focusing more in the career development and career services topic. Sorry if we cannot go a bit more into detail about these topics, but for sure you can send an email to admissions and they will be helping you. I'm not sure if you could, Sandra, reply to Rohan in this. I'm not sure if what you refer, Rohan, to. How long has the financial economics program been established at university? Okay, I guess the finance program. For how long has it been active? So yeah, Sandra is saying BSc was founded in 2006. I think this program was since the very beginning, if I'm not wrong, but I prefer Sandra to reply to this question. We have to finish at 5. We still have 10-15 minutes, so good if you have other questions related with career services, any topic, anything related with organization, services. Elias, I think this session is being recorded. I think my colleague Sandra will be able to share with you the presentation, so you will have all the information available. Thank you for asking. So thank you, Sandra, for confirming it. Elia, is it common for graduates to work with CRAE researchers? Thank you, Elia. Nice that you know the CRAE organization. Depends. It can happen. No, I think we have had some cases. There are many research assistantships here at the UPF or with BSc professors or master directors. This is for sure. In CRAE, sometimes there are opportunities. It will depend on which projects they are carrying on, which research projects they have available. But is it possible? And if you're interested, we encourage you to talk with some of the professors that may be involved in the CRAE, which you will for sure have the opportunity to or have the professors in your master programs or meet them on campus. So for that, we can also support you in meeting them. So yeah. Thank you for your question. I think Tarang has another question regarding the admissions process. And Thorben from Germany. Are many students going to the US for PhD programs after their masters? Good question, Thorben. There are some of them, yes. And also we can share with you specifically, not today because we don't have handy this information, but if you need this information, we can share with you the names of those universities where our graduates go to the US to study or to do a PhD, right? So it's something that it's quite common. Maybe one or two every cohort can be studying a PhD in the US, apart from Europe for sure. Okay, Rotislav, I hope I'm pronouncing your name properly. Is your school connected to the data science and or artificial intelligence laboratories in Spain or abroad doing related researches together? Very interesting question. Some of our professors or master directors are involved in research projects that are international, that are like joint projects between different organizations, public sector, different universities. So yes, specifically AI laboratories, I cannot give you names now, but probably some of them, some projects are related with AI. And for sure, you will have, again, the opportunity to talk with professors about this because they will give you more information. But yeah, in a general basis, I can tell you that there are connections between data science, faculty, students, and projects, let's say, with research projects all around the world with other organizations. Yes. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, Deepak from India. Given placements usually begin in October, and since my course will start in September, I'll have just 1 month to prepare. Could you tell me what companies specifically look for in the profiles of students from data science and decision-making course? Also, what is their selection process? I mean, what exactly do they evaluate before hiring a student from data science decision-making program? Okay, how to start? Because there are many questions in one question. So, placements usually begin in October, and since my course will start in September, I'm not sure if I understand.
Yeah.
Deepak, what do you mean that you will have just 1 month to prepare?
Yeah, because actually, the master program starts in September, but the placements will be next summer, the summer of the next year, or maybe the September of the next year, or the October of the next year, no? It's not that you have 1 month to prepare, but actually you have the whole year, no, to to prepare during the masters. And as Bea was saying before, some students are able to close a professional offer maybe in January, no, or in February, March, in the middle of the academic year. So, well, I don't know if I'm answering the question, but it's not that you have 1 month to prepare, no, but actually you have a lot of time because as long as you are studying, you will be able, no, to prepare for your future professional applications.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, regarding the, you were requesting the names of the specific companies, that hire the data science decision-making profile. This on the BSc website, if you navigate through the page of the program, the data science decision-making, you will see the part where are all of the previous cohort example of placements, organizations that are recruiting this profile. But as we don't have this information now, and it's very specific in your case, Deepak, you can send us an email or to admissions, and we can exactly tell you where to find this information on the website. Or if you need something more specific, we can also provide it to you. But again, technology sector, consulting firms, government authorities, financial services, these are sectors that are hiring data science profiles. There are many names, so I wouldn't say just two or three because there are many organizations recruiting, interested to recruit your profile or the data science students and graduates. So probably it's better to, in a one-on-one basis, to also to provide this information.
Yeah, actually, we can also, in case you don't know, we can tell you that in the website, in the master's program, you will be able to find like the placements from the last 3 cohorts. So you can see everything there. You can see the list of the company names. You can see also the position, the role name, the city, the country. So you have like all details about what happened with the students from the last 3 cohorts, no, for the master in question you were asking for. Yeah.
Thank you, Alba. Perfect.
What else?
Okay, Maria. Okay, I think Sandra is replying to Maria. Perfect. Rohan, what software applications and database resources are accessible within the university, similar to Bloomberg Terminal, to aid students in their projects and readiness for the job market? This is something that academics department can also provide to you, because we know MATLAB, we know few names of tools that you will be having access here in the campus as a student. But the complete list, we will have to share with you through an email if you let us check internally all of the software applications that and databases you will have access to. For sure, you will have access to some of them and will be available to you during the year. So, Rohan, if you send us an email with this question, we will give you the information that academics department will provide. Okay. Rotislav, regarding your question, which master specialization has broader employment opportunities? The data science methodology or decision making? And what is the most crucial difference between the two? Good question, and it's a very common question. Maybe Sandra can help you a bit more in understanding the differences between the two programs. What I can say and what we see in the profiles and in the placement after the programs is that is very similar in terms of type of positions and type of industry that recruit these both graduates, okay, from both programs. The methodology is a bit more theoretical in the sense of creating models and understanding this kind of all of the methodology, all of the models that are created or are needed for in this case, in data science. And then decision making is more in the analysis of the models of the results of these models applied. So this is very basic explanation on the difference of the two program masters. For sure, or Sandra or the directors can give you more information about this. But in terms of employment, 100% sure both masters have amazing employment ratios, placement ratios. So if that's something that it's making you doubt between one or another program, I would say very, very, very similar in terms of type of positions you will be having access to. and also type of organizations or sectors. So no worries about that, right? Probably it's better for you to think about what do you prefer to focus more on, no? In the technicality, the methodology, or more in how to apply the data science in organizations, in projects, etc. Thank you, Sandra. I think, again, if you send an email, Bratislav to admissions, they will obviously give you much more information about this. Fabio from Brazil, thank you for your question. Do you have data about earnings? We have 4 minutes. I will try to respond this question, probably one more, but we will have to be closing very much on time. We have salary information about our graduates. It's something that in our placement reports we try to gather this information as well, which confidentially and with no names, obviously, we use it to guide future students. So yes, we have a few numbers in terms of earnings. It also depends a lot in the country, in this industry, type of organization. But yes, we can guide you a little bit in sense of earnings and salaries. If I don't know if you, Fabio, were referring to this, but in that case, this would be the answer. And I am not sure if there are many other questions before this one.
I don't think so. Yeah, maybe we can finish the session. No, because if not, I think it will be ended.
I think so. We have advice to finish at 5 o'clock Spanish time. So thank you very much for your attention, for joining us in this session. We are very much looking forward to meeting you in September here in Barcelona, hopefully, and see you very soon. Thank you. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Nice to meet
Nice to
you.
meet you.